Hello and welcome back to another video feature of the Immersive Worlds Handbook. Today I'm looking at robot theming and I'm visiting the Tipsy robot, an interesting new drink destination in Las Vegas. And the video I'll be sharing with you today comes from the location at the Planet Hollywood. So this is a pretty curious concept in terms of a take on a bar. Actually, you'll see later there is a traditional bar in the front of the store, and what you're seeing here is the robot bar area. And the basic premise is that people can sit at these stools and get on one of these tablets, certify, as you can see at the beginning, that they're 21 years of age, and then order any sort of drink that they want. What happens after this is the robot bartender, the two arms here, will create the drink for the customer. And you'll see this later, they actually have human servers who will take the drinks out to the table. So, for me this was an interesting find. I was walking through the Planet Hollywood and hadn't been in the Miracle Mile shops in a few years, and I found this particular place. It opened actually in July of 2017, so it's relatively new. And we're looking at some stock footage here, but what's interesting to me about this robot concept is that the theme of a robot in American society, or maybe many societies, is one that is, I would say, highly ambivalent. On the one hand, there's a lot of futuristic science fiction, utopian or dystopian fiction that gets into robots. In some cases, they're friends. In other cases, they aren't. We could think of movies going back to the 50s, or actually before. You can go back to Fritz Lang's Metropolis and think about robots and cyborgs. So well over 100 years we've been fascinated with robots. There's a fantasy science fiction side of them. On the other hand, though, as we look at images of robots assembling things on assembly lines, there's a concern. The concern is that the robot might indeed take away human jobs. Now, of course, there's a different context here than the one we're looking at today. The one today gets us thinking more about robots in the context of amusement venues. Now, the other side of this, of course, is Westworld, and Westworld is certainly a dystopian view of what could happen if robots run amok in a theme park and take over and take out their own desires on individuals. And we of course live in the world in which people are saying, Elon Musk and others, that artificial intelligence and robotic intelligence could be a problem in the future. There's a little bit of context. Let me jump back to my video that I shot. I should say I originally did a voiceover while I was going through the motions of looking at ordering, but it turned out that the audio was kind of bad. So I will go through this with you as best I can here. So, as you can see, quite a few people are lined up looking at the robots, what they're doing, and they have these video screens above. And one of my critiques, if you will, is that what do you see right here? You see people looking, you see people taking pictures. From a perspective of, getting the attention of the guest from the sidewalk, say, it's great, but then are they actually ordering drinks? Here are some of the drinks you could order. I actually didn't order one. They tended to be $14, as you can see, a rum and coke, a cosmopolitan, a screwdriver. One of the things I read in the LA Times, an article about the Tipsy robot, is that one of the notions is that people will get perfect drinks mixed every time. So it almost suggests that a human bartender can't do what he or she does as well as a robot. Makes me think a little bit of the show Bar Rescue, and sometimes you have bartenders that are critiqued or critiqued for their lack of skill, or they don't know how to make a certain drink, and a mixologist comes in and tries to correct the problem with the particular bartender. Going back to my earlier point, you can see here, look at all these people. They're fascinated. I mean, at least 20 people came by when I visited the Tipsy robot on the Vegas Strip. But my concern was, will these people who are ordering or actually taking the photos and gawking at the robot bartender, will they actually order a drink? And that's really key, right? It's like with any attraction in Vegas, you want the guests to first see something that is evocative, that is interesting, that is fascinating, that is pleasurable, entertaining, and then secondly, act on those desires. So in this case, go up to the screen, order one of the drinks, and enjoy the drink. So that maybe is a concern with the location. The second would be, what do you do after you order the drink? If you go to a club in a Vegas casino, anywhere here on the Strip, I'm pointing out there are just some of the action and the human server who's bringing drinks to the tables of the guests. But one of the points is, in a traditional bar, there could be music, there could be sports, there could be socializing, and I think a concern of mine is that once you order the drink, is that the experience? Does the experience end at that moment, the fascination here with the robot making the drink, and then that's the extent of it? That, I think, could be a problem. I would want to know some statistics. For example, how many guests who look at the bar, order a drink, there's a traditional bar right there, and then secondly, how many guests stay for a second drink or a third drink? One of the things that's key in restaurants and hospitality, you saw some, I'm just pointing out the sign there as well, some pretty cool design in the store, I should say. But one of the points in hospitality is you want to get people to be return customers and to order a second drink or another item of food beyond the appetizer, beyond the main course, a dessert, and so forth. So that, I think, could be a concern ultimately with this concept. We'll have to see. I'm looking here just at the ordering screen, and it does require you to certify that you're at least 21 years of age, so that's obviously really key. They don't want to get in trouble. Now, the other thing I should say is that this concept originally we saw on some Royal Caribbean celebrity cruise ships, where you actually had robot bartenders that created the drinks for you. So it's kind of an interesting concept, I think, that has taken on apparently. This location has opened up. I don't know if they have plans to open up additional ones, but as you can see from the guests here, it was definitely popular. It was something that so many people seemed excited about, and I'm pointing out the fact that, again, people are taking all these pictures, but how many people are actually ordering? And that could be a concern to try to get people to take it upon themselves to do more than simply take photos. So this next, after this clip ends, I will just give you my reflection upon leaving the Tipsy robot at the Planet Hollywood Miracle Mile Mall here in Las Vegas, Nevada. So here's that reflection now. Okay, so the distraction there, that was the Tipsy robot, and I had previously only seen robot bartenders on cruise ships, or I'd heard about them, not actually experienced them, so that was kind of interesting. I'll show you some of the video I captured, and I talked with one of the, well, he wasn't a bartender. In fact, he made a point to say that the robots will not replace the human bartenders, which is kind of interesting because that's essentially what has happened there. So. Okay, so we'll have to see the extent to which the Tipsy robot can attract the kind of customer who's interested in robot theming and a robot bartender. It's an interesting concept here in Las Vegas, Nevada at the Planet Hollywood Miracle Mile Mall. So I hope you enjoyed this video feature and this fascinating look at a new trend here in themed entertainment. Please come back for additional video features of the Immersive Worlds Handbook.